In this video, we're going to talk about how to talk to your child about weight and body image. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Eileen, and I'm so glad that you are here. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and on this channel, I talk about some of the most commonly discussed topics in pediatrics so that you can walk away feeling more empowered as a parent. I've been a pediatrician for over 12 years, and during this time, I have heard more times than I like to admit, how often kids come to me and they feel ashamed for the way they look, for their body, for weight gain, and so forth. And this leads to a very important conversation that I think that every parent needs to have with their child at some point. And that is how to foster a positive body image, how to understand what a healthy weight and goal might be. And that doesn't have to even circle around a weight or a number or a scale. So I want to give you my top 5 tips for parents who are talking to their teenagers and their children about weight and body image. And hopefully these will set you up for success. Number 1, keep an open dialogue. To start a conversation with your child or teenager about weight is to keep an open dialogue. So make an observation, don't come to a conclusion, and then really draw your child and teenager into the conversation. I would start with open-ended questions like, how are you feeling? What is bothering you? Are you concerned about your food choices? Are you concerned about your body weight? Has there been any concerns or questions about your body? How do you feel about your body? Do you feel healthy? Are you feeling energetic? These are open-ended questions that you can use to talk to your child. So that gives them an opportunity to tell you and use their own words and expressions to tell you how they're feeling about this whole topic of body image, weight. And maybe they're thinking something totally on a different level than you. So that instead of jumping to a conclusion and kind of just circling and narrowing them in to a conclusion that you may have made or presumptions we have made, keep this dialogue open. That way your child has the ability and the opportunity to tell you what's truly on their mind. Number 2, keep everything positive and stay away from negative comments about body image and weight. I cannot stress enough how important this is. In today's culture, unfortunately, there is so much body shaming and fat shaming that is out there and that kids are already having to face in school, in sports practices, or just being exposed to social media and told what an ideal body image should be. So instead of saying, oh look, she looks so skinny and looks better and she looks gorgeous, trying to stay away from the idea of someone is fat, someone is too skinny, really trying to focus on someone looks healthy versus not. Also, many studies in psychology have also shown that when you use negative feedback to tell someone that they need to change what they're doing, it often yields to little or no results. So teenagers and children who have been told that they're overweight and needs to lose weight or need to look different, or felt body shamed or being teased about their body weight, generally have a harder time losing weight. In fact, the opposite may happen. They may feel so defeated, so ashamed of the way they look, they may do the exact opposite. There's so many ways that we can frame this in a positive light and to refrain from using negative, shaming terminologies. So try not to say fat, try not to say big, try not to say overweight, because these words, not because of you, but because the way the society has overused them and abused them in the context, it makes it very hard and sometimes very traumatizing for children and teenagers who are already struggling with this. So trying to stay away from body shaming and use positive words and terminologies and establish the understanding that you are having this conversation to try to help them and not to point and blame them for anything that they're doing. Now, I'd like to take a moment and say, if you found anything helpful in this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified for my new videos. Number 3, seek advice from experts. So if you and your child have acknowledged that there is an area of concern, like about weight and eating healthy, start by forming a plan. And try not to feel ashamed that you have to go to someone sometimes, maybe to just seek advice. There's a lot of resources out there that's online, like healthychildren.org or Mayo Clinic, that has some very good guidelines that you can use. And I will also put some of those useful links below so that you can look at and see what kind of information is out there that are readily available to everyone. But there are also specialists like a dietitian who go over your nutritional needs with you, like a pediatrician or a clinician who look at the clinical side of things, and they may also have a lot of knowledge about some of the basics of food and nutrition that you may have not known before. So these are good starting points to talk to someone. You can also consider talking to a personal trainer, especially if the child is a little bit older, like teenagers, and they feel comfortable incorporating exercise, fitness into their plan to get healthier. So there are many resources out there to help you create a plan that is doable and adjustable to your lifestyle. Now, this leads me to the next advice, number 4, and that is to make a plan that involves the whole family. From my experience as a pediatrician, I will say the number 1 reason that people tell me and kids tell me that they are having a hard time lose weight is actually their environment. So you might have heard of this, or someone will say, I can't lose weight because the people in my family, they eat differently from me, or I have to accommodate for others around me, so it's very hard for me to stick to my own goals. And especially for children, they're at the mercy of what parents give them, what grandparents give them, or what is served at school. So in order to set them up for success, you really need a whole family to be on the same page. And that goes for the grandparents too, and the babysitter, and the extended family that is there to help out. That means that we all want to be aware of what is healthier choices versus less healthy choices. Make maybe grocery shopping together. Make a list of things that you want to incorporate into your diet on a regular basis, and then a list of things that you want to minimize but are not completely eliminated. So if your child really likes ice cream or likes chocolate, that should be included into the diet, but it may be one of those foods that you want to eat less frequently and not every day. Whereas the green vegetables and fresh fruits and high fiber whole grains, those are something that you want to incorporate every day and encourage everyone to be upheld to the same standard. So it really takes a whole village to raise a child. And especially when it comes to something that is so sensitive and deeply embedded in us, and that is our relationship with food and how we nourish our bodies. It really takes a whole family and making small changes and turning into a lifestyle. Tip number 5, choose to focus on health over weight, behaviors over a body size. And this is important because when you tell your child to go on a diet, and my personal opinion is that really no children or teenagers should really be going on a diet, because generally that means that they are on a diet for the finite time, and when that diet ends, they will absolutely almost always gain that weight back. So instead of thinking this as a temporary change or temporary fix, really focus on long-term behaviors, long-term lifestyle habits and choices to have the most attainable and sustainable results. And also remember, guys, instead of focusing on the weight, because everyone's healthy weight may look very different. Some people are naturally a little bit big boned. Some people are naturally have a very narrow frame. Some people put on weight very easily, but they're still very active. Some people have a hard time putting on weight. So instead of focusing on one goal, one size fits all, really just trying to focus on how are you feeling? Are you able to go up the stairs without being short of breath? Are you able to run and catch the bus without being short of breath? Are you able to stay in a soccer practice and last throughout the whole game? Those are important ways to measure whether your child is healthy. So remember, trying to focus on the behaviors and the healthy end goal versus the weight and a body size and the numbers. And also, one more thing, and perhaps this goes without saying, setting good role models as parents is one of the most important things. And this really ties into what I've been saying before. It takes a family on the same page to really achieve long, sustainable, healthy weight and healthy lifestyle. So that goes for parents and for moms and dads out there. If your child sees you jumping on fat diets, extreme weight loss, or denying yourself foods that you like because you want to look a certain way and then lose control in how you eat, they see that as well. And this is challenging for a lot of people because the way we think about food really stems very, very early on into our childhood. So I want to encourage you, if this is an area that you are struggling with as a parent, consider investing time into yourself to address this topic, because your child's relationship with food is actually very closely linked with yours as well. Now remember, there are so many resources out there. Your pediatrician, your clinicians, your dietitians, your cardiologists, and all the specialists out there that are there to help you. And there's also many resources that are available online through trusted sources, and check out the link below. I hope this encourages you guys. This is such a big topic. It's very hard to talk about weight and body image as a society. But the more we are able to have these open conversations, the more I think that healing can begin and that we can improve and tackle the hardest topic and help us reach our healthiest self. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please leave a comment if you had gone through this with your teenager or child. And see you guys back here next time.